Good morning everyone. Here is this week's arithmetic paper. So I think you can do questions 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 independently. Let's start with question 6. So question 6, 2.23 add 4.7. So to do this in a column, make sure that you have lined up your decimal points correctly. So the 4 needs to be in the ones column, which is here, 4.7. And then put your placeholder there. Add them together. Question 7. 46,900 subtract 1,500. Quite a lot of you will be able to do that mentally. 46,900 subtract 1,000 and then subtract 500. If not, do a column subtraction. So 46,900 subtract 1,500. 0 subtract 0, 0 subtract 0, 9 subtract 5, and so on. Question 8. 4 1/8 times 5. So what is 4 times 5? Well, 4 times 5 is 20. And then what is 1/8 times 5? So there's 1/8 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So that's 1/8 times 5, or 1/8 5 times. So how many eighths are there? So 1/8 5 times is 5/8. So the answer is 20 and 5/8. Question 9. 11 squared subtract 21. What is 11 squared? 11 squared is 11 multiplied by 11. 11 11s is 121, 121. Subtract 21, easy. Question 10. 3 multiplied by 9,000. So what's 3 multiplied by 9? And then make it 1,000 times bigger. Question 11. 4,731 divided by 6. So how many 6s are in that number? So bus stop method. How many 6s are in 4 is 0. Carry the 4 over, or 4 remaining. How many 6s in 47? Write your answer there and write your remaining there. Remember, when you're counting in 6s, if you're not sure of your 6s, write them out here. So 6, 12, 18 and so on. Question 12. 7 add 6 divided by 3. So remember, when you have mixed operations within a calculation, you need to use BODMAS. Now you have already had a lesson on BODMAS, so this should be really easy for you. So, are there any brackets? No. Are there any orders or indices? No. There's no square numbers or cube numbers. Is there any division or multiplication? Yes. So we need to do this calculation first. So 6 divided by 3. How many 3s are in 6? Is 2. Then the last thing you need to do is the addition or subtraction, which is there. So 7 add 2. And there's your answer. Question 13. 82 multiplied by 34. So remember how we've done this before is we cover up the 3. 2 times 4, 8 times 4. Write your answer here. Then we cover up the 4, but because we are, instead of multiplying it by 3, we're actually multiplying it by 30, which is why you need your 0 here. So then you do your 3 times 2, and then your 3 times 8. Write your answer here, add them together. Question 14. 3,912 divided by 16. So it's asking you how many 16s are in 3,912. Because you're dividing it by a 2-digit number, we tend to use long division. Some of you may want to do short division. How many 16s are in 3? 0. Carry the 3. How many 16s are in 39? So some of you may want to continue with short division. If not, long division. So remember your starburst here. So 1 times 16 is 16. What are 2 16s? Well, 16 add 16. 6 add 6 is 12. 1, 2, 3. So 2 16s is 32. What are 10 16s? Well, there's 1 16, so 10 16 is 160. What's 100 16s? Times it by 10 again. 1,600. What are 50 16s? Well, if we know that 100 16s is 1,600, half of that would be 50 16s. So half of 16 is 8, make it 100 times bigger, 800. What is 20 16s? Well, I know that 2 16s are 32, so 20 16s is 10 times bigger, 320. So there's my starburst. Now I can start subtracting chunks of 16. So I'm going to subtract 100 groups of 16 here. So write 100 in your column. Subtract 1,600. 2 subtract 0 is 2. 1 subtract 0 is 1. 9 subtract 6 is 3. 3 subtract 1 is 2. I'm going to subtract another 100 16s. 1,600. What have you got left? And continue until you end up with 0, or you may even end up with a remainder. Well done. So that was question 14. Question 15. 2/3 add 3.5. So what is 3.5? 3.5 is what we call a mixed number. So before we do the calculation, we need to turn the mixed number into an improper fraction. So remember how we've done it before is we've times the denominator and added the numerator. So 3 times 2 is 6, add the 1 is 7. So we've got 7 halves. Add the 2/3. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So again, we did this last week, so hopefully you will know how to do it. When you're adding fractions, you have to make sure the denominators are the same. So what is the common factor that we can use here to find the equivalent fraction? Well, I know the equivalent, the common denominator will be sixths. So I need to find the equivalent fraction of 2/3 in sixths. So what do I do to 3 to make it into a, what do I do to the third to make it into a sixth? I times it by 2, which means I have to multiply the numerator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So 4/6 add. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got 2. What do I do to the 2 to make it into 6? I times it by 3. So make sure you multiply the numerator by 3. So 7 times 3 is 21. Now my denominators are the same. I can now work out what 4/6 add 21/6 are. So 4 add 21 is how many sixths? Question 16. 5/6 divided by 4. So when you're dividing fractions, you need to use KFC. Keep, flip, change. So keep the first fraction, 5/6. Flip the next fraction, so 4 is 4/1. So flip it to make a quarter. And then change the operation from divide into times. Timesing fractions, all you do is times the numerators together, times the denominators together. So 5 times 1 is what? 6 times 4 is what? Excellent. Okay, 2 more questions. So question 17. 25.7 multiplied by 100. So because it's multiplying, you are making the number 100 times bigger. So there's 25.7. Now, some of you would prefer to move the decimal point 2 places, making this number 100 times bigger. So I move the decimal point this way to make 257, that's timesing it by 10, and then move it one more place, try and work out what the answer is that way. Or you might prefer to draw your place value grid. So you've got 25.7, okay, and you're going to make the number 100 times bigger by moving the digits. So I'm going to be moving the digits this way, because at the moment that 2 is in the tens column, but to make it bigger, I need to move it into the hundreds and the thousands column. So pick up the 2, move it 2 places, 1, 2. Pick up the 5, move it 2 places, 1, 2. Pick up the 7, move it 2 places, 1, 2. Because the decimal point is there, I need a placeholder there, a 0. And there's your answer. Question 18. 50% of 2,684. What is 50% as a fraction? 50% is half, because it's 50 out of 100. So the question is asking you, what is half of 2,684? Well, there's 2,684. What is half of 2,000? 1,000. What is half of 600? 300. What is half of 80? Which is 40. What is half of 4, which is 2. And there's your answer there. Well done.